Good morning. Hello, hello. Let me get this up where I can actually see what is going on here. Here we go. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So last Tuesday, I skipped out. I had some dental work done on Monday, and they were prepping for a crown. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, um, it was like, I thought it was just when you got a root canal that was bad, but in essence, not true. Um, when they are prepping and doing the build up for a crown, they still have to give you all those shots. So I got like 4 shots, all different places in my mouth, and I think I'm more fearful of the shots when I'm having dental work than I am anything else. And look, this is not new for me. Like, I have crowns everywhere, right? So I should not like be worried about that. But I had to tell you, it was um it was an experience. I thought it wasn't the tooth that hurt. It was the gum around the tooth where he had actually, hi, sweetheart. There is my beautiful, beautiful daughter, Jess. Good to see you on here. Give that grandson of mine a hug. Um, and it was not kind. It was not kind. And like the first couple of days went by, and I was like, this is not good. And someone, I think Joanna had mentioned something about bromelain, which is something with Market America. Oh no, Jess, is he? Oh my God, fair food, Jess, right? But everybody loves fair food. I get it. I'm so sorry that he's not feeling good. Ugh, he'll be up before you know it. That kid's got a crazy immune system, crazy good. Um, so and it's a basically it's a natural healing agent, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get this stuff. I'm gonna get this stuff, and I'm gonna try it because other than an earache, I think the worst pain in the world is a toothache or something hurting in your mouth that like gives you a headache, makes you feel horrible. And I thought, I know this isn't anything that's going to work miracles right away, but if it will help things heal better, I am all for the like getting away from the Advil and getting away from the stuff that obviously, if you take too much of it, is going to hurt your liver and everything else. So I started taking that, and I think I've been on it now. Let me see, it is a week yesterday since I had the procedure done. I think I've been on this probably 4 days, 4 or 5 days, and it's amazing. Because the only thing different is that I'm taking that. See, that's how you can tell when something's working. So it's meant as a natural, like it promotes, it aids, it promotes the healing process naturally. And I can remember when somebody turned me on to something when I broke my arm and said, look, you may think I'm crazy, but I'm going to give you this link to this stuff, and you take this. And I'm telling you, my son used it, and his ankle healed a lot quicker. And I have to tell you, hey, Quentin, how are you, baby? Hope you're having a good day. And I am having a good morning. Thank you, sweetheart. Um, and I took it, and I was amazed. Like, and the doctor was amazed. Like, I didn't want to tell him when I went back, like, that I had taken something that, like, wasn't just sitting there waiting for it to heal. And I'm telling you, there is some natural stuff out there that is so much better for you. You just got to find it. You got to find the right company. You got to find the right product. Find somebody who's not going to lie to you, like me, who will say, don't take that crap, it don't work. I'm that person. I've always been that way in any of my businesses. If anybody asks me and I'm not a fan of it, I'm like, I'm not. Doesn't mean you won't be, but I'm not. Just saying, not a fan. And I am definitely a fan of this. I will scream this to the mountaintops. I'm not taking Advil or Tylenol or anything right now. Hi, Janae. Good to see you, baby. And I feel my mouth, is it 100%? It is not. Thankfully for me, the crown won't be in for like 3 weeks, but it is better. All the swelling I could feel back behind my tooth is gone. So I'm like, oh, solid win here. So yeah, I put it up in my on my page because I was like so amazed by this. I didn't really know a whole lot about things that were truly good for me until I joined Market America. And originally, I wasn't quite sure, except the fact that what I was taking was giving me more energy, and that I felt better, and that my bones weren't creaking the way they were starting to creak at 61, and that I felt like I was like more even keeled. There was so much going on in my life at the time that I joined, and I swear there has been something for everything, and I am just so thrilled with how I'm feeling, and how when something does go wrong with me or somebody I know, that there is something that can help it in a more natural way, the way your body's supposed to heal, not with a lot of big pharma drugs that some people don't have a choice, they have to take. But healing from the gut out is becoming something crazy. I haven't been on the scale in a few weeks, because you all know that I have been on the Go Trim Slim. Yeah, that and some other things, the Core 3, and I have to, I'm like pound 23. And believe me, I have not done anything different. Nothing different. I would love to tell you I'm eating different, but y'all see my meals. I share them with you. I do, and if there's a cookie I want, I eat it. Or if I want, like, I'm getting ready to make s'mores cookies, right? Have you seen them, like, on TikTok and everything? The s'mores cookie where you start with the graham cracker, and then you put the marshmallow, and you put the chocolate, and then you take a big old hunkaroo of chocolate chip cookie dough, and you put it on the top, and you wrap it all around, and you pop that son of a gun in the oven. I'm getting ready to make them, okay? I am getting ready this week. My husband will say I'm lying because I've been promising it for a couple of weeks. But I'm getting ready to make some of them s'mores chocolate chip cookies. And you know what? Being on the Go Trim Slim and stuff, I don't even have to. Now, I'm not going to sit down and eat six. Okay, you're not going to sit down and eat six. But I don't even feel bad about being like, you know what? Going to try one of these. This is good. Love it, love it, love it. Make my oatmeal cream pies, please. I know. Jess, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Find that for me again so I can save the recipe to my notes the way I do. Will you please? Because I will absolutely make those. As a matter of fact, we could make those probably when I come up at Thanksgiving. We could. But find the recipe so that I can, do the mama thing and figure out what I need to do a little differently. So if you will do that, I promise you that, but Earl's not allowed to have any, okay? My carnivore son is not allowed to have them. So, but I will fix those for you. So if you will find that, that would be absolutely awesome. So love that. She's been saying, I know, Lee, I just said that. I told on myself. Yes, Jess, we can make them together. Girl, you know me. I'm all about the help right now. I'm all about the help. We can make them together. So if you'll find it, send me the recipe again so that I can, so I can mama do that thing where I'm like, no, we need to add this. We need to add that. That kind of thing. So I can put it together. We will do that together. 100% we will do that together. Quentin, I just saw this. I missed you last week. I missed everybody last week. I really love doing these devotionals and talking about life. I mean, look, I love to talk about me some Jesus. I love me some Jesus. Y'all know that. But just the getting in here and talking about stuff and sharing recipes, and I've been able to, thankfully, because I'm not working as much out door dashing these days. Thank you, Market America. I am so glad that I can actually fix meals again. And last night we took some solid center cut thick pork chops, and I cooked those with a little olive oil and did my thing with that, seasoned them all up, and then I took some zucchini and I took some onions and I took some new seasoning that I found on TikTok. I am such the TikTok hoe. I just got to tell you all these things people are using. And I flavored that all up and used this PF Chang's sauce, this chicken lettuce wrap sauce that they have. Well, they're not selling it anymore. All right, I'm going to tell you a story. I need to tell you a story here. This sauce, they have a few sauces, but one of them is beef and broccoli, and one of them is this lettuce wrap thing, and it comes in this like pouch, and I found it by fluke, and I tried it, and I loved it, and then I went back to get more, and they were out of them, and then I went on Amazon, and I tried to find it on Amazon, and then people were trying to stab me, and take all my money, like 6 pouches for like $47 or $60, 67, like, and I found out it's because I don't think they're making them anymore. But in the Food Lions down here, the grocery stores, I have been finding them. So yesterday in the rain, when I went out to do some of my regular shopping and stuff, I hit 3 Food Lions, and I bought everything they had. Now, they weren't cases of them, so don't judge me. They weren't cases of them. But when I think I got like 15 or 16, one store only had like 4 left. The other store had like 11 or 12 left. I mean, I got every one because these sauces are so good, and you can use them with chicken and beef and pork and anything that you want to. I think I've used them with everything. So good, and I really use them for the vegetables and put it in the vegetables and then put it over some jasmine rice. Can I tell you, it's so great. Lee, I know you're not saying that I sit on a throne of lies. Oh my goodness. Hey, Steph, I see you there. I see you. So I went, okay, and I bought as many of these. I have 2 more Food Lions I need to hit. I know, but you know how this goes? Like when you find something you really like, and then you're trying to figure out why they're not making it anymore, and you can't get an answer. You know what that's like, right? It's just like, it's so frustrating. So I'm like, they always have them up on the top when I go get them. Like, I'm telling you, the top shelf. Well, what's crazy about the top shelf is most people ain't looking up there. Let's be for real. Most people, but I'm 6 foot. So I am looking on the top shelf, or I am looking. And so immediately when I get to the international section in the store, I'm looking up and Papa, Wakaramba, you know, that kind. There it was. And I like just grabbed the whole, like they were all in this little box. I just grabbed the box. I grabbed the whole box of the beef and broccoli ones. And then there were 3 of the lettuce wrap ones. And I grabbed those 3. And here I was. I felt like I had Simba as a baby in my arm, like holding them up like, "What? Look what I got. This will be good forever." That was me. I did it. I admit it. You know how I am. I said eat the s'mores cookie that you s'mores cookie. What? Lee, I'm gonna fix the s'mores. I have everything. I have the Ghirardelli chocolate. Look, I just didn't get Hershey's. I got the Ghirardelli so I could try a piece of dark chocolate. I also got the regular milk chocolate. And by the way, I found marshmallows that are squared off so it will sit, bam, right on the graham cracker when I am making these cookies. Just bam, bam, bam. Hi, Gwenda. Good to see ya. We're talking about my cooking, Gwenda. Okay, just bear with me for a minute. Talking about my cooking. So I can put that down, and the chocolate sits on it okay, and then going to take the big old thing, a chocolate chip cookie dough, and put that, I was just talking about being healthy a minute ago, right? About, losing a couple of more pounds. Do you all hear me talk about these cookies? And I'm telling you, I can still make my brownies and all, and I am still losing weight. Lee, stop. Lee, you're judging me. You need to stop it, Bib. Oh my goodness. Hey, Tiff, good to see you. He's judging me. You know why? Because he just wants to take all them s'mores cookies for himself. I'm going to have to hide them after I make them. Because if not, they will end up being hidden in some cabinet somewhere. I will think everybody ate them, and that will not be the case. Oh my goodness. See, Steph says I have to crawl up to get to the top. Steph, girl, you need to be shopping with me. Like, I'm looking going, Steph, you ever seen this? Steph's going to go, How would I see that? It's like 3 feet higher than me. Well, maybe 2 feet. 3 feet higher than me. How would I see that? But girl, I know this is good because your 6 foot friend right here, I just found this. I don't know why they putting it up top, but you need this in your life. See, I'm that person that I'm going to find what's good on the top shelf. Hey, Janice, someone please send Lee some s'mores. No, he's just a little bit salty, Janice, because I have been saying I am going to fix these s'mores cookies I have been watching forever. I admit I have been. I've been a little busy, been a whole lot going on, and I didn't, but I'm going to, and he just doesn't like Molly time. I fix things in Molly time. That's what I do. He just don't like it that way. That's what it is. So, he should know. How long has he been married to me now? I mean, what is this going to be in October? It's going to be like 19 years? Bib, you should know better. You should know. This is exactly how I am. You should know. Oh my goodness. So anyways, the judgment is real today. Whew. So I'm going to be doing that. But what's really great is I don't feel so guilty about that, because being on the Go Trim Slim, and I'm also on, they have another one that I'm trying to think what the name of it is, but it's all about making you not like crave like carbs and stuff. And I am the chip girl and the mashed potato girl. I'm the pasta. I'm the girl. Y'all know, look, I'm not even going to feel bad about it, because I like to cook and I like to eat what I cook and I like to feed people because it's my love language. So luckily for me, I found Market America, who is going to give me these great supplements that are going to allow me to do that from time to time, right? Still lose weight, still feel good, still feel like $1,000,000, and I'm all about it. Janice says, I'll be happy to get anything from the bottom shelf in return for you getting things. Let me tell you something. My friend Janice, which by the way, if you need any Pampered Chef, she is your girl. Let me just say that. She has been legit my Pampered Chef girl forever and a day, years. We did events together. And I have to tell you, like no lie, if she stands up next to me, my short little friend, I could probably just, put my arm up on and rest on her shoulder, But love her. It's amazing when you start businesses and stuff, things that will bring you together. I love that. Hi, Lisa Gale. How are you, baby? Good to see you. You are waiting a few weeks. See, Tiff, hey, Lee, Tiff just said, she gonna be back. I need to wait a few more weeks so she can have one. And I can fix her probably that lush, like one of them meals with that great sauce, and she can think it's healthy because of all the health. Well, it probably is more healthy. It's more healthy than eating all the processed food out there. That's for sure. Crazy. But yeah. So all good, 100%. So look, if you're coming on, say hi. The only reason I get to go to the store is so I can flat-footed reach the top shelf. Well, you're taller than me. I am great if it's just the top shelf. But Bib, when Walmart's got this thing where they put everything all the way back on the top shelf, and I'm like, how am I going to get that? I have to take the blind guy with me, because he puts his hand up there. He can't see it, but I'm like, to the left, baby. No, a little bit to the right, baby, to the left, all the way back. Keep going back. You feel it? Baby? No, to the left a little bit. No, not that one. Not the peas. I don't like peas. Get the green beans. That's our life, and we have adapted, and I am all about it. I am all about it, just saying. So that's how we shop. People watch us. We are very entertaining. Very entertaining. If you shopped with us once, you would want to go back again. Guaranteed you'd want to go back again, 100%. Don't need healthy after this month. Oh, Tiff, I hear you, girl. You have been through it for sure. But it's okay. It's all right. That's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, Tiff. Why God isn't answering my prayers, why things happen, things of that sort. Happy to be here. Good to see you here, friend. Love it. So look, that's my life right now. Dental work, fixing food, finding new things that can help people feel better. my husband, him always giving me a hard time because I'm not fixing the dessert. Look, if anybody has a reason to holler, my daughter does, because she been asking me to fix the oatmeal cream pies for a couple of years now, and I still have not gotten around to it. So if anybody could have it, it would be my daughter. I'm just saying. Mm-mm-mm. Oh no, we're not. He's annoying, Gwenda. Do not believe all this like we are funny. The only thing funny is how annoyed I get at him when he does things he should not. The stories that I need to no. I don't need to write a book. What I need to do is just get on and tell y'all about it, because I think he lives his life to annoy me. He also lives his life to serve me. Not in that way. Serve me or make my life better, right? But sometimes in the process of making my life better, he's annoying. And I'm like, stop. I could do that. Like, stop. That's me. And he's like, what? What did I do? I was just trying to help. Fine. I won't, you know how it is with men. Fine, I won't help. Fine. You don't need, fine. I'm just going to go over here and do my thing, put my headphones on, listening to my podcast. That's all you had to do to start with. Go over there, sit down, do your thing, walk, listen to your podcast. Let me do my thing. That's what I do. So yeah, that's where we're at. Our Walmart just remodeled, and almost everything we buy now is on the top shelf. The Hubs is disabled, and I'm only 5'4". Hey, Lisa, have you ever tried them? I think my father-in-law had one at one time. I'm not sure. One of them grabby things where you can take it to the store with you, and you can like grab it when it's up high and bring it. Now, one time I picked up one of those in a Walmart. Let me be honest, it was in one of these little, like, I don't know, cardboard things on an end aisle. And so I decide I'm going to try it out before I use it. And I try to pick up something. And it was a thing of salt. Like just, like the girl with the umbrella, the iodine sauce, right? I tried to do it. Dude, I tried to pick up the salt with it, and yes, and it grabbed it. But the moment I took it off the shelf, I don't know what I did or didn't do, but it fell right out, and then the bottom came out of the salt. There was salt everywhere. Can I tell you what I did? Nothing. I was so embarrassed, I put the whole thing back in the cardboard thing, said never one of those things knew it was probably me, that I did it wrong, and there was the salt. And then the whole time I'm walking through the store, I'm feeling all guilty. So then the next time I saw the Walmart person, you know what I did? I had to say, over on aisle 13, I dropped a thing of salt. Just don't want anybody to like fall in it or anything. The lady stopped. She looked at me. Thank you for letting us know. And then you hear them on the loudspeaker. Justin! Aisle 13, Justin, clean up on aisle 13. Salt, Justin. And I just got my last couple of things, and out the door I went, because I was afraid that she had my name. It was going to be, those grabber things tend to be straight sticks. We need one with a bending arm. Yeah, Janice, sure. Janice, we need to like come up with that. That's what we need to like come up with something that will sell better than that. Make our mill, right? Make our mill, 100%. Yeah. Yes, he got one from the hospital. I need to take it. Haven't thought about that. See, that's why I love you. Don't grab the salt, Lisa. Don't grab the container. Maybe they've made them better. Maybe it was me. I don't want to believe it was me, of course. I don't want to believe it was me, but it could have been me. Could have been me, and the way I grabbed it. Don't grab the salt. Or have the cart right there so it could just fall in when you let it go. Because I don't want to be responsible for you dropping the salt. They'll be like, aisle 13, Lisa just spilled salt on aisle 13. Clean it up. Yeah. So, look, I would have cleaned it up. If they had given me like a broom and a dustpan, I would have done it. I made the mess. No problem. I don't mind. I clean up people's messes all the time. It's all good. Oh, anyways, here we go. Okay, so let's get back to why I'm here. Molly's Moments with Jesus. Let's talk for a minute. 13 is my number. You're going to be good then. That's because he gets annoyed and she doesn't want to hear it anymore. Jess absolutely knows. Absolutely 100% feels me, gets me the whole 9 yards. Absolutely. Um, so of course, we're still talking about seeing beautiful again. Life and all the crap that it brings and trying to see beautiful again. And for some of us, we're like, it doesn't have to be beautiful. I would just like to see something that looks better than what I'm experiencing, right? Um, at 61, there's been a whole lot of crud in life that's happened to me, to people around me, to people I love, to people that I'm just here on social media following them. Um, and I've realized that it doesn't stop. Bad stuff happens to good people, and bad stuff happens to bad people too, but things happen. But a lot of times people will tell me, I don't understand. I've been praying about this. I really wanted this job. I wanted this position. I know I was right for this position. I wanted that. This is what I wanted. Or I wanted complete healing. I wanted this. I wanted the test result to come back okay, or I wanted my kids to make a different choice. I prayed about it. I knew this was going to happen with them. I knew that this was going to be a bad place. But here we are. Why didn't God listen? Why is it that we always think that it's God not listening, right? And again, I'm talking about myself too. God, you know how important this was to me. I've been talking to you about this every day. I need. Or how about he just hasn't given you an answer? Again, I'm just gonna tell you, this is not a genie in the bottle. This is not a genie in the bottle thing. This God thing, this superior, made heavens and earth being. He is not handing out numbers and saying, number 7, number 13, I'm gonna grant your wish today. It's your day. It's not how it works, people. It's not how it works. Um, and a lot of times we don't get the answers that we want. Lisa says, our family believes bad things happen to good people to draw them closer to God. Lisa, I think a lot of times that's absolutely what it is, or maybe to show us how much we need him. But here's another thing. Sometimes in the process of bad things, it saves us from other things. I'm a true believer of that, but nothing that you see in the moment that it's happening. Romans 8:28 is the verse today. For we know that all things work together for good to them who love God, those who are called according to his purpose. That would be the King James Version. In this version, we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose. Just a little shift on words, but the same thing. But here is the deal. I have watched it time and time again in my own life. And that's 61 years of life, right? That things that I thought that I knew that I wanted, that I knew would be good for me, things that I wanted to be different. And yet it didn't happen the way I thought it should happen. Then I can also remember years down the road going back, looking at something and going, oh my goodness. Oh wow. I would have never thought that would have happened. Um, for me, recently it has been things like hoping that the status of my income and my financial being would be better. Just, hold out, wait out. This is going to get better. It's going to be fine. Keep doing the things that you're going to do. It's going to be. And at the same time praying, God, please make this better. God, please, And then when I started praying, God, please please open a door for me. God, please show me what you want for me. Um, God, show my kids what they need, the direction. You know, a lot of times I don't understand their decisions all the times, the things that they do. Um, and you wonder sometimes why, I would have wished for something else. But the best thing in the world is when my kids, after they come through something, they go, wow, you know what I learned from this, mom? Or, yeah, I wouldn't do this again because. And then they give me the because. And I realize that I may have known that may not have been good for them, but they needed the journey. They needed the path. They needed to figure this out themselves. Sometimes I believe it's to save us from other things and maybe even save us from ourselves. Things that we're pretty sure that we want. I mean, have you ever been the person, I don't understand, I want more money? Hey, Raj, or Raj just came on. Hold up, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Roger, a great friend of Molly's. Hopefully, everyone has an amazing day. Yes, he has. A longtime friend. We haven't seen each other in forever. Um, but Roger is the most loyal, huggy teddy bear I have probably met in my life. And we used to meet up and do concerts together and things like that. And so many of us who are still in touch, thankfully, for social media. But he's a great follow too. He helps to boost up and coming stars in like country music and the music business. Goes to their concerts, celebrates them, and some of the ones that he was celebrating back in the day were not very big then, but boy are they now. So he is definitely just has been a blessing in my life to watch, and always been very supportive of me and Lee and anything in life. So yeah. So I mean, he's the deal. Like, you know what? Roger, Roger's had some tough times in his life. I've been following him. That's how I know. He's very open about a lot of it. Things that he feels like people have done him wrong, or something hasn't worked out exactly like he wanted it to. But Roger has always bounced back. Roger has always come back to say, "I'm not sure why this happened, but you know what? I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going here, and we're gonna figure this out." And he does, and he does. He stays the course. He stays the course. So he's definitely a great example of what we wish that we could always be. Some of us want to ball up in a corner when something doesn't go our way, or we just want to stay mad at God and blame God because he didn't grant the wish. And in reading this, I saw myself once again, what Liza was saying, in so much. Hey, Carol, good to see you, babe. Um, just trying to figure out, why isn't he? And sometimes you don't get an answer to that, why isn't he? But sometimes you have to find a new way to view it. Instead of saying, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? Sometimes we need to figure out and remember that we absolutely have been given choices in life. Choices in life means we decide which direction we want to go. And a lot of times God has something better for us down the road, and we don't even know that. We don't realize how something, I'm a firm believer that God does not make things happen to people, make bad things happen to people, but I'm a firm believer that God can use anything that happens somewhere to the better. Somewhere to the better. Yeah, Carol, for sure. In his time, not ours. Um, Going through the cancer, you all hear me talk about this a lot. Never understood that. I can remember, hey, Angela, good to see you. I can remember thinking to myself first, God, why, I don't understand. Why is this mass here? And the thing is, my body somewhere in all of this produced this mass. I was having no symptoms to do with that mass. And that little lump thing that I still have on my side that was there, if I hadn't had to go to the emergency room to have that checked out, you know, I remember thinking to myself, because I had a huge bill, no insurance, just from going to the emergency room to check on that little fatty mass that I did not know was a fatty mass. Um, I had a huge bill from that, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever to pay this off. That was exactly what I was thinking. But at the same time, when they said, this should have never been found, this mass that's on your kidney, it was not time. Hey, Karen, it was not time for that mass to be found. It was very, very early when they found it on that sonogram. And they said they come back and they call divine intervention on things like that, that something is found while looking or seeking something else. You know, you go in, you think that you've pulled something, they want to do a sonogram or a CAT scan or something on you, and suddenly somewhere in that CAT scan, something somewhere else shows up that you were having no symptoms about. That is divine intervention. Nobody will ever convince me of anything else when that happens. The thing that I didn't get in the moment, because you all know, you followed me, I was a hot mess during that. I'm still a hot mess, okay? But that was a whole different hot mess. It was a whole hot mess during that. I couldn't believe this was happening. I have no health insurance. What's going to happen? We're just, you know, we're like not smack dab in the middle of COVID, but trying to come out of COVID. And I am thinking, you know, I don't need this in my life. God, I just need you to take this away. I remember praying, I just need you to take this away. Just make it go away. Just poof, like take it from me. Like, I don't want this. I want them to do another scan, and I want it to be gone. I want it to be gone. And the more I dug into my Bible, I realized that God has operated that way. But it wasn't going to be my journey. But my journey did show exactly what can happen when people come together. My journey absolutely showed what can happen when God's hand is in something for maybe another purpose and he uses something like that. I thought, what am I going to do here? And people came together and people supported my journey, and people were praying for me, not by the hundreds, by the thousands. And yet all God says is, the Bible says, when one or two are gathered. But there was something about waking up every morning to people private messaging me saying, you were in my prayers this morning, God, and I talked about you this morning. You're going to be okay. Can't tell you how I know that, but I feel it, Molly. You're going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. And I kept saying to myself, why do I not have that kind of faith? Why, God, am I not feeling this? Because God was showing me faith through other people. That I wasn't there yet. Oh, I got there. But I wasn't there yet. And what a miracle he created. Yeah, I had to let him harpoon my side. You know, go in there, take that mass out. All markers were clear. There was no need for chemo, no need for radiation. I have been 4 years back to the doctor and we are still clear. But all the people who came together in that, when I look back, I saw all the miracles of faith that were happening around me all over the globe, all over the United States, all over social media. And that God said, I'm going to let you feel me through the people who love you. Because when you can't believe, when you're not ready to believe, I have got people who are there for you, who are going to hold you up in the process. People in your life, or maybe yourself, you're going through something that's tough. And you know what you're praying. Isn't it most of the time, if it's something bad, just make it go away. Please, just make it go away. You know. But it doesn't happen like that most of the time. Although I have seen it. Oh, we must have made a mistake. Oh, we know what was on there before. No, let me be clear. What you saw on there before was probably on there before, but God just took care of it because he has another plan. But when we find that things are not answered, when I just wanted my first marriage to work out. I just wanted my kids not to be children of divorce. I just wanted things to be okay. And when my life fell apart, I didn't understand how it was ever going to be okay again. I didn't understand how everything that was upside down was ever going to be righted. I didn't understand how I would ever pay my bills. I didn't understand what God already knew I was capable of. I've always worked hard my whole life. But during that period of my life, I worked harder than I think I've worked my whole life. Running a business, still working full time, running my brother's company, delivering newspapers at night, still taking care of my boys, and still making sure that everybody else in my life was taken care of. And I look back even to this day and I cringe and I go, how did I get through that? But God, he showed me exactly what I was made of, and I had no clue that I had any of that in me. Even now, with starting a new business 6 months ago, I was so scared. Because 61 years old, are you kidding me? Do I even have that in me? I know I need to. I know I need to do. I know what's needed. But God, are you sure this is the door? Are you sure I should do this? Because I just don't know if I can. I just don't know. It's going to be different. I just don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know, God. And God said, trust me. And I did. He may have been trying to show me something, but what I really think is he was once again showing me, girl, there is so much more about you that I have not allowed to come out of you yet. Girl, there is so much more that you can do at 61, at 71, whatever that looks like. I am not done using you to help others. I am not done showing you how powerful something can be when you are willing to dig in and put in the work and stay consistent. I am going to show you what partnership truly looks like. He had all these things, but at the time I didn't know that. And there were many times, and even now, like last night was one of those nights, where I felt the weight of the world on my shoulder for all different reasons. And I just basically had to say, man, I don't even know what to do with all this, God, so I need to hand this to you. So piece by piece, could you show me what I need to do, what my part is to play in here? And when I picked up the devotional, because I had no idea I had not even read through the devotional yet. And it said, why isn't God answering my prayer? And I was feeling so heavy at the time that Liza let God use her to talk to me. And what I'm hoping is that now you will let me be an extension to what God wants somebody else to hear, and let me help you in this moment with us. In 2015, the New York Times ran an article called Googling for God. In this article, the author started by saying, it has been a bad decade for God, at least so far. He went on to say, what questions do people have when they are questioning God? The number one question was, who created God? The number two question was, why does God allow suffering? But it was the third question that slammed into my heart and made me realize the depth at which many of us struggle when we walk through devastating situations. Why does God hate me? Have you ever said that to yourself? I have. I'm asking you because Lord knows I don't want to feel alone. God, why do you hate me? Why now, God? Why am I going through this? Why would you allow this? Have I done something so bad that you're going to let this heavy be on me? You're going to let this happen. I'm not alone in wondering about God's feelings when circumstances beg me to feel betrayed. While I would have never used the word hate, seeing it typed out as one of the most commonly asked questions about God shows me just how dark your perspective can get. The most devastating spiritual crisis isn't when we wonder why God isn't doing something. It's when we become utterly convinced that God no longer cares. That's what I hear hiding behind the Google search. And I shudder to say this, but I think that's what was hiding behind my own disillusionment too. What makes faith fall apart isn't doubt. It's becoming too certain of the wrong things. Things like forgiveness doesn't matter. Are you guilty of it? Has somebody done something so critically bad? Hey, Giselle, has somebody done so critically bad for you? You're like, screw forgiveness. I'm never forgiving you for that. I will never forgive you for that. I will never forgive you for doing that to our family. I will never. Have you ever? Have you ever been there? I have. I've been there. Forgiveness doesn't matter. It's not worth it. Oh, girlfriend, miss you too. It isn't worth it. It's not time for that kind of obedience. God isn't moving. What I see is absolute proof that God isn't working. All those things being said. That's where I can find myself getting more and more skeptical of God's love, God's provision, God's protection, God's instructions, and God's faithfulness. And most of all, where I start fearing He really has no plan at all. And I'm just truly going to be a victim of circumstances beyond anyone's control. The problem with that thinking is, while it may line up with what life looks like from the place I'm in and the confusion I'm feeling, it doesn't line up with the truth. And before everything went haywire in my life, I had already put a stake in the ground, proclaiming that God's word is where I would turn and return no matter what. I could resist trusting God and turning to His truth. I could run from it. I could, with bitter resignation, put my Bible on a shelf and let it collect dust for years. But I wouldn't be able to escape what was already buried deep in my heart. I knew in this deep down knowing place that what I was seeing wasn't all that was happening. Past experience where I had seen God's faithfulness remind me that I don't always see God working in the midst of my hard times. That was true for me during my surgery. That was true for me when my dad kicked me out of the house. That was true for me in the midst of my divorce. That was true for me when my brother was going through hard times and cancer and wouldn't listen, and I was flustered and we were living not in this good place. And yeah, I could not feel in the midst of the hard time. You're probably not going to feel it. There are a few times in my life where I've seen dramatic moves by God happen quick enough for me to say, wow, look what God is doing. Do you remember? Do you remember times in your life when you've been like, oh my gosh, I feel God in that? That happened. I left here late. I was pissed that I left here late. But do you know that there was an accident that couldn't have happened more than 4 minutes ago when I couldn't find my keys? God was in that, right? Right? We're that person. We're that person. God saved me from that. Woohoo. But most of the time, it's thousands of little shifts, so slight that the dailiness of his work doesn't register in real time. It's hard when we are living in that space where our head knows God can do anything, but our heart is heavy because he's not doing what we're hoping for, what we've prayed for, what we've believed for a long time. I get it and have cried many tears because of it. So what helps? Well, it helps to know these things. Here's the first thing. God is active even when we can't see his activity. Just because we can't discern or detect what he's doing doesn't mean he isn't working. You'll find in 2 Corinthians 4:18, we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. 2, what may feel like a lack of intervention is not a sign of his lack of affection. Just because you're not seeing him intervene in that moment doesn't mean he doesn't love you. Lamentations 3:21 through 23. This I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And number 3, God loves us too much to answer our prayers at any other time than the right time. And any other way other than the right way. It may not appear that way to us when we're going through it. It may not appear that to us when it ends. But there is always the right time. God is never late. He is never early. He is always right on time. And it is always the right way. As I told you, God can use anything that happens to his greater good. Romans 8:28, we know that all things work together for good for those who love God, those who are called according to his purpose. One of my favorite verses in the Bible. Today, look for beautiful ways God is showing you assurances of his love. His deep affection is all around you, even in the waiting places. Take this prayer with you. God, I confess it's easy for me to become skeptical when things are not working out the way that I had planned, even when I don't see it, even when I don't feel it. I will stand on the truth that you are working all things together for good. Man. Some of you are on here or you're watching the replay and you're just listening and you're like, I'm there. I'm there. I'm not feeling him. I'm there. As a matter of fact, some of you jump on and you jump off because you're like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear about this. Life is so bad. I don't want to hear about God and right time and right circumstance and right this. I feel you. I know. I know. But I need you to know that he is there in the midst of all of it. The sick child, the bad marriage, the job you just got fired from, the friend who really wasn't a friend, the people who are using you, and you're like, how did God let me be this stupid? Why do I want to believe this person is for me when in reality this person is against me? Or how about people that you thought were friends and dude, they just left you by the roadside? You ever felt that feeling? Whew, I've been there for 6 months. But when the plan is greater, when the timing isn't there yet, and when the greater good cannot be viewed yet, know it's coming. And it may not all come out exactly as you hoped it would, but he is going to use it for his greater good. And you may not be able to see it at the time, definitely not in the midst of it, but you may not be able to see it in the moment. So here's what I suggest. You know that thing we just talked about where you're like, you know what? Forgiveness doesn't matter. It's not worth it. It's not time for that kind of obedience. God isn't moving. What I see is absolute proof that God isn't working. You need to dismiss those thoughts. That's what a greater evil wants you to think. That he's not there. That he doesn't care, because if he did, he would have fixed it. No. There's something you're walking through that needs to be walked through. There is something happening that God needs you to see. See it for exactly what it is. Sometimes it's what we don't want to see about people. Sometimes we want to believe that somebody is much greater than they really are. Sometimes we want to believe that this person's for you, but they're against you. Sometimes it is not as it presents itself at all. And God will use something to show you that. And you're going to look back and you're going to go, oh, sorry, God. I probably should have thought through that a little bit more. I probably should have had a bit more faith. I probably should have known that you have me, because all things work together for those who love God, those who are called according to his purpose. You may feel alone. You are not. He's walking beside you even before you see the answer, even before you see the outcome. And even when you make the wrong decision, he will still walk you through the wrong decisions too, and never walk away from you. How do I know? Because I was the one who kicked him out of my life for a long time. But he never lost sight of me. In all those years, I wanted to blame him for everything. He never took it personally, right? He said, I'm going to be here because you're gonna come around. You're going to have a need. You're going to see that you need to have some faith in me. I've got you. You're my child. But I'll wait for you, Molly. I'll wait for you. Because when you get through all this, and I'm able to use all of these things to help you, help others, you're going to see it. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't like that he uses me in my stories. I don't like it that he's currently using things about me. I'm like, okay, God, could we get to the lesson, please? Could we get to the lesson? But unless I live it, and unless I feel it, he's never early, he's never late, he's always right on time. He's showing you things you need to see. He's showing you how to live by faith. But will you? Because see, he's showing you how, but you still have to make the choice to do it. That is the God I serve. He does not sit there with a bullwhip and make you love him. He wants you to, but he doesn't make you. He doesn't make you go down the right path. You can still choose the wrong path, the wrong decision. He won't leave you, but guess what? There's going to be repercussions. He's not just going to dust you off and put you back on the right road. Now see, it's up to you to choose to get on a better road. And yeah, you're going to have to go through more crap now because you just went on down that road like you knew it all, right? Oh, that looked like the highway. I like the 75 mile per hour sign a whole lot better than the 55. But that shouldn't have been the road you were on. But you chose it because you thought you knew better. I'm that person too, just so you know. Don't think you're the only one who's ever made a bad decision. My goodness. Life is hard. And doing the right thing sometimes is hard. And forgiveness is hard, but it's necessary. It's necessary. Or you're going to be buried with the bogness of just evil thoughts and holding on to all that freaking luggage of stuff that does not serve you well. And thinking that he doesn't care or that it's not worth it, that the journey's not worth it. Yes, it is. Get to the end of it. Get to the end of that trial. Get to the end of that tribulation. Get to the end of that hard time. That relationship that you thought would never go bad. It would never be bad. But God had to show you this person wasn't exactly the best person for you. It happens. It doesn't mean you hate the person. It doesn't mean you don't love them, but you have learned you have to love them from over there. And when things end, it hurts. It stings. Sometimes you feel stupid. You wish you had seen it. Should have been more aware. It doesn't matter. Because there's always a way to walk through it, learn from it, and do better and be better. And no matter what your bad part in it, God is a forgiving God. He's a forgiving God. And he wants you to get it right. Tuesdays can be heavy sometimes. Sometimes that's when I start very late with s'mores cookies. And then here we come. And when life is heavy, it's hard for me sometimes to talk about heavy, especially when my heart is heavy. And these days, my heart is really heavy. But I know what I know. God is in the midst. Even when I don't see him right there, those little minuscule, little things he's doing that I can't see, that I can't feel it when it happens, but when it all comes together, it's a big thing. I know he's doing it. I know he's working things to his greater good. And I know I'm going to be better for it one way or another. So hang in there. Hang in there. Do what you need to do to get through the trial. Don't forget that he is always working in the midst of it all. And on another note, after I make those s'mores cookies, I'll be sharing them. I'll be telling you if the hype is even an ounce of what it should be. I have a feeling it's going to be, but hey, here we are, right? Here we are. So be looking for that. Be following. Have the best rest of your week ever. Have the best. And you've got to make it happen. It's got to be you guys. You've got to make it happen. So make it happen. Decide that you are going to have a better day than how the morning started. And decide that you are made for a better purpose, a much bigger purpose. Don't learn this at 61 like I have. Or really, I think I started learning it in my 50s, to be honest. Don't wait till then. But if you have waited till then, it ain't never too late, Cupcake, okay? It is never too late. You can always learn something new. You can always be better, you know? And anybody who's interested in that bromelain and that Go Trim Slim, again, pound 23. Woot, woot. And I'm eating s'mores cookies. What the heck is that all about, right? What the heck? All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.